Hello, welcome to Red Book Tray. Today I'm reviewing Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, and if you're not new, welcome back. And today I'm doing a very quick review of Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree because I got an advanced reader copy from NetGalley for my honest opinion, and I read it back in June and I still haven't done my review. So I'm going to do my written review for NetGalley, but I thought I'd talk my thoughts out here for a little bit, if I can remember the details of the book, but I can anyway. I absolutely loved the first book from Travis Baldree, Legends and Lattes, and it was a BookTube darling last year, and I read it last winter and I fell in complete love with that book. I absolutely adored the warm, cozy coffee shop vibes, the food descriptions, the found family, the warmth, the friendships. I mean, that book is just a big hug in a book. It's just gorgeous, and it was perfect for the dark kind of wintry nights. And then was absolutely thrilled, like everybody, that Travis Baldree is going to be publishing a follow-up to the story, and it's Bookshops and Bonedust. And great, Bookshops, yes. Bonedust, I don't know, but I was like, yes, I'm there. So this is the same characters, or so I thought. I thought it was going to be a sequel. So Bookshops and Bonedust is actually a prequel to Legends and Lattes. So in Legends and Lattes, we have an orc, Viv, who is a mercenary for hire, and she is fed up with her life of slashing and killing things, and she's saved up all her gold from her marauding days, and she goes to this town and she opens up a coffee shop, which sounds really weird and just silly. And it could be, but it's lovely. So she opens up this coffee shop in this town. No one knows what coffee is because it's a fantasy town. And it's your traditional, you know, like swords and sorcery, Dungeons and Dragons style world. You know, you've got your orcs, your dwarfs, you know, all your different creatures, barbarians, whatever. I can't even remember. But basically, think fantasy books, think like your traditional high fantasy setting, and that's what you got for Legends and Lattes. And it was just a lovely found family cozy vibe with lots of great food description that just makes you want to eat sticky cakes and drink lovely coffee. It was great. Bookshops and Bonedust is actually a prequel to Legends and Lattes, so it is set about 20 years before Viv hangs up her sword for good. And Viv in the book is a young merc. She's a young mercenary, and she is going to join her. She's joined her first sort of marauding band, and she is all about the action and the slashing and the killing and the hunting, and to the point where she's really silly because she's new to it all and she's young, and she's, you know, gets carried away and she gets injured charging in ahead of the line, and she gets injured, and the band that she's working with, they're very famous, like, you know, adventuring band, and they dump her in this town while she's recovering from this really serious injury. And they dump her at this inn, and they paid for someone to sort of, you know, like fix her up or whatever. And so she's left in this town, and it's a seaside town, and she's left there to recover, and she is bored because her life is all about, like I said, the violence and the adventuring, treasure hunting and everything else. So she's bored out of her mind. And so what happens is she's wandering around the town, or hobbling about the town one day, and she spots a bookshop. At the start, she is not interested in books, but she meets a character in there who's running the bookshop, and she's introduced to the world of books and reading, and of course she falls in love with it. And then, you know, they've got some marvellous characters. So the bookshop owner has a pet, which is kind of like part owl, part, I can't remember what the pet's called or what kind of creature it is, which is very, very cute. And then there's also some other characters. There's a bakery nearby run by a dwarf who makes the most amazing cakes. And yeah, so basically it's kind of got those vibes. So far, so good for me. This is like, yeah, I liked it. I was liking the world building. I was liking all of the description of the food and the cozy bits and everything else. So that's what I really, really liked about Bookshops and Bonedust. And I enjoyed Bookshops and Bonedust. I really thought it was really good. It's a great follow-up. However, I didn't love it. The reason I didn't really love it the way I loved Legends and Lattes is because it had more stakes in it, this one. Like Legends and Lattes, the beauty of Legends and Lattes was it was this low stakes, like there was a storyline, but it wasn't like this huge plot. It was about her realising her dream and getting the coffee shop off the ground and making all these friends and making things happen. And there was like a subplot of someone trying to undermine all of that. But really at the forefront of the book was all of that, you know, friendship, family, vibes, the coziness, the like, you just wanted to be in that coffee shop all the time. And then we get Bookshops and Bonedust, and basically there's a bigger plot going on in Bookshops and Bonedust than I wanted from this book. So it's not the book, and I must stress this. I think if you like Legends and Lattes or loved Legends and Lattes, you're probably going to love Bookshops and Bonedust. And I really did. I just didn't love it to the point that I loved Legends and Lattes. And I think it was this... one, the fact that there was a more high stakes plot going on, which I didn't want interfering with my being in a bookshop, being in a bakery kind of reading. Like, I didn't want that. And then two, there was also the fact that it was a prequel. I wanted so badly to return to that coffee shop and that world and those characters, and I didn't get what I wanted. So it's not that this is a bad book. It's not that it's not as good, or, you know, the descriptions aren't as great. It's, for me, and I think it's just the way I read it, I didn't fall in love the way I fell in love with Legends and Lattes. So in a sense, it was a slight disappointment to me. But then, you know, it's not the book's fault. It's my fault for my high expectations. And I want to do a video on this, I think, because I feel like sometimes we put expectations on books and they don't live up to them. And it's not the fault of the book. So there. That's my garbled review of Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. I think it's out in November. I don't know. I hope it's not out too soon, because I feel like I'm putting out my review quite late, and I don't want my NetGalley percentage or score to go down any more than it already probably has. But yeah, I think it's worth reading. If you like Legends and Lattes, definitely check it out. If you've never read either book, I wonder if it'd be worth starting with this one and then reading Legends and Lattes. I don't think you'd get the same enjoyment out of it. You have to do it this way round. So Legends and Lattes, then Bookshops and Bonedust. If you like this rambling review, I'm not quite sure why you would, but you know, you never know, you might have enjoyed it. Maybe consider subscribing, and hopefully I will see you again here soon. Bye!